Hi, I'm Bella Rage with the InkSpired TV, and we're here with Jake Luhrs from August Burns Red. Hi, Jake.
Hello.
You've actually been dominating the scene now for about 10 years, going strong. I know you've gained a lot of followers throughout the years. The release of your new Rescue and Restore CD, now, how do you compare that to previous records that you've already put out?
I think it's definitely more diverse. I think what we started to see in our genre of music is just like a lot of repetition, a lot of replication in bands. It's kind of like all of a sudden this scene kind of exploded, a few years back or whatever, and then all these bands just started to just kind of jump on board and do the same thing. So we wanted to really bring more to the table on this album than the previous one. And that's just kind of something in our hearts is like, we just, every record we always want to top ourselves, and that's just how we are. But when we thought about the, the making of this record, we were thinking like, what can we do outside the box of ourselves and the outside of the box of this industry? So we tried to put in Chinese guitar. There's like sitar. There's trumpets. There's just all this crazy instrumentation that we want to add to it. And then on the other half of that is, stepping up ourselves as musicians. So, our guitarists want to be better guitarists. I'm a vocalist. I want to be a better vocalist. And just kind of taking it, again to the next level.
So the style of your music actually is much more progressive, and it continues to be, as what I've noticed from the first CDs. There seems to be more technical aspects performing each time. Can you tell me about some of your personal influences to what helps you create those styles of music?
Well, for me, I think the influences that for this band in general, they're not like we don't listen to metal music. We don't really. I mean, we did when we were kids and younger, but now that we're where we're at, you know, we find a lot of our inspiration from ambient music. For me, like Sigur Rós, they don't even have vocals in there, or they don't have. I think it's singing or something lyrics. I think because they're from Iceland, so I don't even know what he says. But just trying to find bands outside of our genre and letting them inspire us to truly try to change the genre that we're in, I guess.
Now, I actually understand that you're also involved with the foundation called the Heart Support, correct? Now, what is your involvement in that, and could you explain a little bit to us what that foundation is actually for?
Yeah, I'm actually the founder of it. I started it about 4 years ago for kids that I started to meet at shows that were like, hey, your song helped me from shooting up the next day, or I've been sober for 2 years now because of your song, Composure, and all these stories, and so I started to see that the music had this ability and the power to bring healing into kids' lives. And so God put me in this position to write these lyrics and to meet these kids. So I said, Lord, like, just talking to him, I was, hey, you gave me all of these things and you put me in this position. What can I do more? And then this idea of this website came up immediately after. So I'm just writing all these ideas down. And ultimately what it was is for me to start an online community for kids to come and talk openly or anonymously about their struggles. And that could be addictions to like drugs, alcohol. That could be self-harm. That could be, your parents going through a divorce, or you having relationship issues, or spiritual questions like, hey, who is Jesus, or what is God, or, and so I've built this, and over the few years that I've done it, we just did Warped Tour. I had a tent out there. We have over 100,000 visits a month on the site where kids can just tell their stories. There's forums, there's interviews with other bands about things that they've struggled with, and then there's other organizations that I've linked up with and made connections with that, for example, just a week ago, I was at the table after our show. This girl comes up to me and says that her father had passed away. And so, we kind of hugged it out and talked a little bit about it, and she then emailed me the same night and said that she started cutting again. Well, it just so happens that I work with an organization, the Door for Teens doorofhopeforteens.com, and the woman who works this helps women and men with self-harm, and she's been doing it for a long time, and she got out of cutting herself. So I was able to send her to this woman who's helped tons of teens through that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, and that's all what Heart Support is just, we don't care what you believe in, we don't care the color of your skin, we don't care where you're at, what you've done in your past. Like, we're not here to shame you or judge you. We're here to encourage you and help you get through that hump.
That you do have some quite visible tattoos. Can you tell me about maybe what your most memorable tattoo is to this date, or which one means the most to you?
I don't know if, again, it's hard to pick because I got them in all these different stages of my life. I'd say one of the most recent ones that I got, which was a doozy, was this lion on my hand here, which my buddy from First Revelation Tattoo in Texas did for me, Todd Bain, and that was pretty painful, and it got a little infected towards the end, but the symbolism of this is not only for recognition of honoring my dad, like my father in heaven, but also it's really weird. There was maybe 3 to 4 experiences where all over the globe, like I think one happened on the East Coast and then one on the West Coast. There was a time in Germany, and then I think one other time where kids came up to me and said, "Hey, I just want you to know that I think you have like the heart of a lion." And I don't really understand what that meant or why they would say that, but after happening so many times over these different places, I was just like, do you know the other guy, from San Diego that said that to me like last year? Like, it was just really weird. And I've been through a lot of struggles in my life where I just never gave up. I just never quit. And that's one of the reasons why I'm, the singer of August Runs Red, is because I'm determined and I wasn't gonna, and it's a kind of a daily reminder that, God is with me and He is my strength and He encourages me, but to know that, that I am strong, and that I can overcome things. So, because that's life. We're always going to hit something in the road, and something bad's going to happen to us, or, we can't understand something, or we have all these questions, no answers, Every time that comes up, I can just look down and go, you know what, I'm all right. I don't need all the questions or all the answers. God's got me. He's going to provide for me, and, with His strength, I can make it, and I am strong, and I can do what I want and overcome stuff. So I think that's probably my favorite of all, even though I just got it recently. And then this one, as far as hours was concerned, this is the longest. Yeah, it sucked. It was I'm not even finished with it. I still have the inside there. But this is a huge, like, for me, a huge salvation piece. So the ocean is the world, and then you've got these sharks just having a feeding frenzy on all these people swimming in the ocean. So you see body parts and blood all over the place. And so, like, I kind of look at that as like the enemy and darkness of the world and just evil and bad things that happen. And then there's an angel in the boat of salvation, and this angel's taking these people out of the world, out of the water, saving them from the sharks, and then leading them to the ship of life, which is Jesus here. And then that's the ship of life, which is led by the lighthouse, which is God. So it's all like a big piece that I came up with. And again, I just emailed Todd Bain, my brother, and said, look, this is kind of what I'm looking for. And he came up with it. And I don't know, it's probably been, I can only do about 5 hours in a session before I start getting annoyed or irritated, After 4.5, I'm kind of like, just get it done, dude. Just get it done. Let's work on this and probably have a beverage afterwards,
Alrighty. So do you actually have any tattoos that you regret getting, that you've had to have covered up just because you just didn't want to look at them anymore?
No. I think, even though there is a tattoo that meant something to me that like no longer means that to me. I still have it, and I still want to keep it because it reminds me that that I grow and that things do change and things do happen, and to kind of keep my chin up, you know, because it was like a symbolism of something very strong and powerful foundation in my life, and then it just disappeared, and I was like, oh wow, okay, like that's pretty tough pill to swallow. But when I look at it, I go, you know, just remember, you know, watch your back. Remember that things do change, and that you know, what you think is all growing and beautiful or whatever can easily die out in your life, you know. So but no real regrets, you know. I think, again, like, these are all chapters of my life, and it's a part of who I am, and I'm the type of person that, you know, likes to wear, I guess, his heart on his sleeve. So that's literally what I'm doing.
So, do you have any plans on any future tattoos? Anything laid out in the works, possibly?
You know, I just got this guy at the end of Warped Tour, and I thought to myself, oh, and I got this worked on about a week ago, and this is not doing so hot right now, but yeah, I got this color done. I got my wife's name right here. Just got that. So I think I'm gonna hold off a little bit because I'm running out of space, and I'm, you know, so I think for now we're just gonna press the pause button.
Good deal. Well, it's been excellent. I've had a great time with you. Thank you so much for all of your inspirational words, and of course, just for being here today and joining us. Thanks so much. I'm Bella Reyes with the InkSpired TV, and
see you later.